Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to your weekly dose of newsy infotainment. It's Let's Be Treasonable, coming to you from the luxurious studios of Radio Titans in Los Angeles, with your cognitive dissidents on the panel this week. Back in the studio, always happy to have her on the show. Teacher, comedian, activist, lesbian, Latina, so many qualifiers, but she's definitely qualified to be here. Welcome back, Michelle March.
Hey, everybody. Great to be here.
Thank you very much. Joining us on the show for the first time, you can catch him on Screen Junkies. He is the host and creator of the Nerd Goat podcast, and we are very excited to have him here in the studio with us today, Mr. Ed Greer.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. And as always, we are joined by comedian, philosopher, raconteur, the black voice of reason, Mr. Tymon Shipp.
Power to the people. Good to be here.
Yes. Good to see you. And as you, if you know these folks, you may know, you may be able to tell, but it is February 3rd, and we are going to be talking about Black History Month in the age of Trump and a few other things about that. But first, we are joined by our invisible panelist who joins us through the miracle of recorded sound and telephony. It is five-time Emmy nominee Mr. Will Durst with this week's Burst of Durst.
Hey guys, Will Durst here with a few choice words about Donald J. Trump's recent statement that he wants to work with Democrats. Yeah, right. He wants to work with them the same way a 5-year-old with a magnifying glass wants to work with ants. The way a coyote wants to negotiate with a nest of baby ducks. It's amazing how people continue to pore over his words, looking for clues to what they mean, when they don't mean anything. The man never tells the truth. Pundits keep pointing out, oh, but previously he said this, and let's not forget when he said that. Go ahead, forget it. Apparently, they haven't noticed that if the muse moves him, he will reverse course and adopt a totally different position, 180 degrees, in a New York minute, sometimes during the same interview. You can't make a plan based on what comes out of his mouth because it doesn't matter what he says. He will say anything to anyone at any time to get what he wants. Whatever helps at that moment, to buy him time, to distract, to protect a deal, to create confusion, make himself look better. You get the feeling that even if he said he was lying, he'd be lying. Remember how he was going to release his tax returns? He never planned to release his tax returns. Saying he would was a stall. Soon people started asking other questions and totally forgot about his tax returns. And so on and so on. So when the president says he not only is going to testify under oath in the Robert Mueller investigation, but that he's looking forward to it, he doesn't mean it. That's what people want to hear. He'll change his mind, guaranteed. The man has the integrity of a drunken weasel. He would rather lie than eat ice cream. And he likes ice cream. For Let's Be Treasonable, I'm Will Durst.
Thank you very much, Will. Always a pleasure. Well, you know, as Will mentioned there, the Trump train, as his folks like to call it, is really all about plowing over the truth. And just did anyone catch Real Time with Bill Maher last night?
No, I didn't.
Anthony Scaramucci was on,
which scary.
You know. I don't know why Bill Maher keeps, like, I understand you want to have like the opposing viewpoint on, but Scaramucci, Milo Yiannopoulos, you know, it's like you're pulling the worst of the worst and you're giving them a pass. But if you watched the show last night, basically, and I thank you, Tymon. I think rather than calling him the mooch, which he likes, let's call him Scary, because it really is. But he exemplified the Republican tactic last night, which we see with Trump lying all the time. Scary would not shut up. He kept going on about the same things and preventing actual conversation from taking place. And we do this show every Saturday, and used to be, in the days before Trump, because I got a little bit of a journalism background, used to be, you know, you had the Friday news dump. People didn't pay attention to the news over the weekend, so if you had stuff that you wanted to, you know, slide under the radar, that came out on Friday, and it got lost in the news as people went about their lives on the weekend. And it used to be easier to prepare to do a political talk show on Saturday because you pretty much had your agenda by Thursday at the latest. Now it's like even Saturday morning, like up until showtime, it's like checking the news like, oh, dear God, what has he done now?
Right.
Like my, morning mantra, it truly has become, what fresh hell am I waking up to?
Oh, wow.
And then I grab the phone or turn on the TV and find out because I like to be informed. But, and yes, I do see the irony of me bitching about someone yammering on and on to prevent conversation, as I do exactly that. So we will get to Black History Month because there's a lot more that I want to talk about. But let's talk about the lies and the most current story that is taking all the press hours, which is the controversial Devin Nunes memo. Which is, if you've read the memo, it's basically a load of horse shit. What was the movie with where Christian Bale lost like 300 pounds and he was only 200? The Machinist.
Machinist, yeah.
Yeah. Did y'all see it?
Yeah.
Okay. It was beautifully shot, wonderfully acted, but it was such a rehash of every lame Twilight Zone episode you've ever seen, like to the point where when I saw it in the theater, I was dating this girl at the time. We were 2 of maybe 5 people in the theater. It was a little late in the run, but when the big reveal happened, the guy who was sitting like 3 rows in front of us on the other side of the theater literally yelled out, "Oh man!"
Wow.
And that's kind of what the memo was like the big reveal of the memo was something that actually broke in the news months ago. The Republicans figure by bringing it out again and making it seem fresh, well, maybe we can rile up the base.
Anything to cause a distraction, anything to cause, to try and to kind of stop what Mueller's doing. I mean, Mueller is trying to, you're trying to shut that down. So they'll make up all kinds of things. I mean, and try to find ways to distract because they know the American public. I'm sorry, they're stupid. I mean, they're sheep. Some of them. They're not going to. You got guys that are going to believe, like Trump always says, I could shoot someone and they would still vote for me. It does not matter. There are a lot of folks, no matter how you put it, and they've been waiting for this. Because that appeals,
right, but that's the thing.
To their
it's
base.
Like you build it up. Oh yeah, big scandal, and when it turns out to be nothing,
right,
which it really has,
but that
you got all these riled up people.
But his base got riled up.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what it's for.
But also
Paul Ryan said that the memo should not be used to impugn the integrity of the justice system and FBI. Now that's like me taking a lighter and saying this is not supposed to be used for lighting things on fire.
Right.
It's what else is it for?
Right.
Well, also, I mean, I just feel like it's one of these things where it's almost like Trump is like Tony Montana, and he's in his Coke mansion, and he's just like, "Hey, man, those people over there, they're selling bootleg CDs, you know." And it's just like, go get them, go get them. Let's obfuscate. Let's hide. You know what I mean? And I think it's one of these things where we've always talked about politics being lies. But it used to be, okay, we're going to put a bunch of pork in this bill and slide through something innocuous that helps rich people get rich. Right. Now it's just blatant, out and out, just super avaricious tactics that they're like basically, I don't know. It's the what can you prove society. Right. You know what I mean? It's prove it. And I guess that's the foundation of our society is you do have to prove certain things, but they've made it irrelevant. If you prove it, they'll just say, prove it a different way. Prove it. Oh, we'll prove it a different way.
Right. And that's why he was able to say things like, well, there's problems on both sides and get away with it. You can throw these things in there because that's how his base is already. I mean, that didn't even bother them. That didn't bother them that they ran over someone.
Yeah, but, that's because a lot of them are Nazis also. Not all of them. Not all Trump supporters, but... that 33% of the base.
I got in trouble on Screen Junkies for saying basically I wanted to see the Red Skull come back and have him be a true blue Nazi.
Right.
So that Captain America in 2018 could beat the shit out of a Nazi. I
Right.
think we need that as a country.
Right.
And they were like, this guy's saying Trump's a Nazi. This freaking guy, this guy's stupid.
Yeah.
And it's like, this guy's bringing politics into everything. We're trying to have a fun show. It's like, dude, do you live in America or no?
Right. Well, they said Obama was a Nazi. They would holler all the time. They came out with all kinds of Obama's a Nazi.
Those
we don't want
memes.
we don't want no socialism here.
We don't want no death panels.
No, and we don't want you having a. What do you mean you want free medical?
FEMA
What do you-
camps.
Yeah.
They
What do
had
you
his
wanna-
picture. They had his picture with the little Hitler mustache too. Like
Memes.
same thing, you know, black in the little mustache. I don't know how good that looks, and it doesn't even look true.
Well, Michael Jordan had one for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He thought he could pull that off.
I think after the whole baseball debacle, the Hitler mustache was kind of like Jordan's like, well, really, if you look at his time playing baseball professionally, Hitler mustache isn't so bad. Almost looks good on him. Almost.
That's what it would take.
Yeah.
So, well, we're talking about it's not so much the lies, but the quantity and speed at which they're producing them. And I think it's interesting, one of the things that I want to bring into this that maybe I will by the end of this little tirade, but we've got most likely another government shutdown coming up on the 8th. The Democrats folded on the last one. And with the release of the memo, they have so much more to fight with now.
Right.
And I can't wait to see how they fuck it up. But, because the Democrats on the House Intelligence Committee produced a memo of their own that basically fact checks and refutes the Nunes Memo.
Yeah.
Now, I heard Paul Ryan on the news saying the other day that, oh, yeah, that should come out. We should let that come out, which is a lot different than him saying, as of Monday, when we're back in session, I am going to do everything in my power to get that memo out. No, it's, we should let that out. So, you already know, no, they're going to try and prevent it from coming out. But the reason that they're fine with it coming out, it's sort of the planned release of information. Once the Democratic memo comes out explaining exactly in detail what is wrong with the Nunes memo is already out there. The base is stoked. The fire has started. It's like, well,
shows.
we're going to burn down this warehouse district. You should definitely come with a fire extinguisher.
Yeah,
We'll let you know.
But if you're going after where he's screwing up is that you're going after something that is supposed to be sacred in our society, which is the FBI and the DOJ. Okay, you're saying that our Justice Department is whacked. Only because it's going after the president, it's whack. But beforehand, anybody else, it's okay. They can go and attack those people. But you're going and saying that our FBI is lying, and our Department of Justice is lying and everything. But you appointed the people who are behind all of this.
We talked about the cognitive dissidents. I love that. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful trademark. Bing. But like the cognitive dissonance of somebody who constantly finds a way. When the FBI was investigating Martin Luther King,
Right.
the FBI was right. When the FBI was investigating the Black Panthers, the FBI was right. When the FBI was investigating Al Capone, the FBI was right. But now the FBI is wrong.
Right.
And that really bothers me because it's a real, and I hate to be this way, but it's a real rich white guy way of thinking. Because we're in television right now, right?
Right.
And you go in these meetings, and now all of a sudden, all the white guys, you're a well-spoken black guy, I'm a well-spoken black guy. We get half of the truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The half real guy.
Right.
And they'll start talking about how you can't do nothing anymore because they want to talk to you as a male. Because now males can't do nothing. You mean like grope chicks or push them down the stairs and shit like that? We can't do that. That's real. What a fucking tragedy. You know what I mean? And it's like all of a sudden the system's broken because they can't do whatever the hell they want.
Exactly.
And that's